Let's talk some David Stone because I've seen a lot of Oklahoma fans start to panic on social media with the recent, I believe on 3, do they do a feature cast for David Stone to end up at Michigan State? But before we dive into it, please go ahead, hit that like and that subscribe button. Let me know what you all are thinking down in the comments below. Where do you guys ultimately think David Stone ends up committing and going to school? So David Stone is, I think, a pretty smart recruit. And he has a lot of Oklahoma fans currently nervous. So Oklahoma has been in a very good position for a long time with David Stone, as he's from Oklahoma City, went to Dell City schools. Now he's at IMG Academy. The 6'4", 270-pound defensive lineman is a top 5 recruit in the country, a guy that is highly coveted by every single program. He can go anywhere he wants to. And ultimately, David Stone knows this. And so when you look at what David Stone is doing and the panic that he's causing for Oklahoma fans, it's not that he's not going to come to Oklahoma. It's that David Stone knows how to go out there and build his brand. And that's what you're seeing him do, taking the visits to Washington and to all the visits he's taken to Michigan State and the amount of times he's been on the Oklahoma campus. It was funny, actually. Travis mentioned this and on their show last night, and I think it's something that a lot of people forget. David Stone is on campus a lot more than the public knows because this is home. Now, does that make it to where he's sold to come to Oklahoma? No, nothing's a given, especially in the recruiting world. We've seen crazier things happen. But Oklahoma, I think, is still the clear-cut favorite and is a leader to land David Stone. Like I said, David Stone's just smart. He's building his brand. And in the world of NIL, you need to build your brand. You need to go out there and advertise and sell yourself. And that's what David Stone's doing. And ultimately, you look at what Oklahoma has. You have one of the best defensive line recruiters in the country, in Todd Bates. Michigan State did have Sean Cooper. But for those of you who know, Sean Cooper took the head coaching job at Georgia Tech, which I know some of you guys are worried about Za'Damian Sims. I wouldn't be worried there either. But when it comes to David Stone, ultimately, the kid knows where he wants to go. There's no doubt in my mind that if that kid had a gun pointed to his head and he had to sign on paper to go to school somewhere, he knows where he wants to go. There wouldn't be a second thought. But you got to remember, with BV's policy, people have to take their visits. He wants them to take their visits. He wants them to know when you're committed to Oklahoma, you are committed. This is what commitment looks like. It's not I'm committed here. I'm going to go date somebody else. No, like you're a Sooner. And David Stone knows this. And so there's a chance that this recruitment could get drug out a little bit into the summer months. But ultimately, David Stone is a talent that you're willing to wait for. I mean, when you look at just his sheer size and his athletic ability and how he plays and competes in shot put and discus, David Stone is an athlete that any team would want. And ultimately, I feel confident in telling Sooner fans and Sooner Nation, yeah, like, you can get worried, but at the end of the day, what is this worrying? Where does it get you? Because we're so early in the 2024 recruiting cycle, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I talk about or what any of the other content creators talk about. These kids are going to make decisions, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter until early National Signing Day or National Signing Day when they put pen to paper. And I can guarantee you David Stone is a priority for this staff, and he will continue to be a priority for this staff. And if I'm wrong, I challenge David Stone to let me know. And I just want everybody to know, I haven't talked to David Stone, so I don't have any inside information. I'm trying to get him on the podcast. Would love to get him on the podcast. But that's my thoughts on David Stone. I think he ends up a Sooner. And I just believe from everything that I'm seeing that David Stone is building his brand. So go ahead, jump down in the comments below. Let me know what you all think about David Stone. Where do you guys think he ends up committing in the 2024 recruiting cycle?